Hey there, guys. It's Zach here from WinBeta, and welcome to the WinBeta podcast. See, Sean, I should have just read the script. Welcome to welcome to episode number 40? 41?
Yeah.
40 something of the WinBeta podcast for the week of November 13th, 2015. I knew I was going to mess up the first few words. I thought, does episode come first or does the WinBeta podcast come first? Anyway.
Oh, it actually is 41. Yeah,
41, episode 41 of the WinBeta podcast.
Ooh, we're prepared today.
Yeah, with me is Sean Michael. Hey there, Sean.
Hey there.
And this week we have a number of stories. Mainly, the Windows 10 November update. Microsoft has rolled out its first major update for Windows 10, packing some new features and fixes and bugs, because this is a rolling update, meaning Microsoft is never done with Windows, so bugs are still present, unfortunately. A number of stuff for business, so Windows 10 is now business ready according to Microsoft. Was it business ready originally? Apparently not, but it is now.
Apparently not.
Also, I'm going to complain a lot about branding because Microsoft's branding teams suck. No Windows 10 mobile build this week, which we'll probably complain about a little bit. And then we're moving on to a lot of gaming news. We have a new Xbox One experience, the same update for Windows 10, kind of rolled out for Xbox One as well. Came with backwards compatibility and all that, which we'll be talking about in detail. Then we'll be talking about Facebook, the Facebook beta app, which was kind of randomly appeared on the store today. Facebook let us know that it's a real app and they're testing it out and all that good stuff. And then we're going to talk about Tim Cook, because Tim Cook had a lot to say this week.
We will talk about Mr. Cook.
Yes, we will talk about Mr. Cook in glorious detail about how he's a bit deluded or diluted, as one might say. So yeah, how have you been, Sean?
Yeah, I've been all right. I got the new update. I had to use the media creation tool, which is a bit frustrating, but I guess when you have 120 million people trying to update the same thing, that'll happen. So I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I've had an okay week. So I mean, with the new Windows 10 November update rolling out, things were good this week. Things were good.
But what are we going to do now, Zach?
No, well, that's it. We're done. That's Windows 10.
We don't have anything till Redstone. Why don't we just go on Christmas vacation now?
We might as well, because there's just not going to be no noteworthy news from Microsoft now.
Well, I guess mobile. But once mobile comes out...
Oh, yeah, mobile. Mobile's nothing. No one cares about mobile.
Gone.
Nobody cares.
We're gone once mobile comes out.
So, yes, the Windows 10 November update, we talked about it being signed off a couple episodes ago now, I believe. So it's been signed off for a while. Insiders got it last week to test, and it's now finally rolled out to the public. The update brings a number of new features, which we're going to list now because I have the page up now. Cortana is one of the features that were vastly improved with the new update. With Cortana, you can now use your device's pen to just scribble a note in the Cortana notebook, and Cortana will recognize the phone number, email address, and even physical address to help you set reminders. Cortana
Which is awesome.
Yes, it is very good.
Have you tried that yet?
Yeah, it's really good. Cortana can now also keep track of your event and movie bookings too, sending you helpful reminders to know where to go and where to get there on time, plus the option to book and track an Uber. They're excited to make Cortana available in Japan, Australia, and Canada, and India in English, with features and experiences customized for each market. So with this update, Cortana rolls out to a number of new markets as well, which is very exciting, because I believe the number one complaint with Cortana is she's not available in my country. Now she's rolling out to more countries. I mean, it's not everybody yet, obviously, but it's small countries, which is a good start. Microsoft Edge, number of improvements to Edge as well, under the hood mostly, but there are some surfacing features, such as tab previews, which is relatively nice, I guess. Stability improvements, although I've seen a few people complain that Edge is no better than it was before. For me, it's pretty good. I'm actually enjoying Edge, without extensions, obviously. But yeah, I am enjoying Edge quite a fair bit. There's options to sync your bookmarks now, cast media to device, and all that good stuff. And that is... Other than that, some more personalization features like the title bars are now, you can colorize the title bars, something Windows Insiders wanted. The start menu, you can have a fourth column on the start menu and start screen, so more apps on the start at the same one time. And, just other minor tweaks and improvements, which make the system feel more rounded as an operating system. I've said that before, and I'll continue to say it. But now that's out of the way, we are... Go on, Sean.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I think the best term for it, I know it's not a word, It just feels RTM-y.
RTM. Yeah, it feels more RTM, right?
Well, it feels. I mean, obviously, it's not completely finished, as you've pointed out in your video. Context menus are not. They're not 100% done. You know, they're still slightly inconsistent. But that being said, they're a lot better, and it just feels better. But I will say, it's funny. You know, I agree overall. Windows 10 now is much better than it was before. But I used the media creation tool, and then the first thing I turn on my computer, and it's just black, and it doesn't log in, and I'm like, okay. And then I get this, and then reboot it, and then I get this scanning and repairing C drive, and I go, oh, did I get a link to a fake media creation tool that just bricked my whole device? Like, but no, now that it's here, it works great, and it looks a lot better. It's obviously improved. So yeah, there's that.
According to Microsoft, this latest update also makes Windows 10 business ready, which, was it not ready before? Why do they say that now?
It's like an admission of guilt, right?
There was like 7 or 8 million enterprise users before this update. What were they running? Was they running a Windows 10 that wasn't ready for business? Did you trick them into upgrading? Either way, Windows 10 is now ready for business. It comes with Windows Update for Business, which provides IT administrators control over the deployment of updates within their organizations. And with the Windows Store for Business, which provides IT administrators with a flexible way to find, acquire, manage, and distribute apps to Windows 10 devices. So, I mean, computers within an enterprise or a network usually are very monitored with what they have applied to them and whatever else. And now with this update, admins can postpone updates that get rolled out just to make sure they work. And also with the Windows Store for Business thing, keep some of their enterprise apps in a convenient location for auto installing and updating. So that's pretty nice as well. Mobile device management, which empowers IT administrators to use the full power of enterprise mobility management to manage the entire family of Windows devices, and Azure Active Directory join. I have no idea what. Me and Azure, we don't get along. But what it does is empowers IT administrators to maintain one directory, enabling people to have one login and securely roam their Windows settings and data across all their Windows 10 devices. I just realized something, Sean.
Yeah, well, I know.
I stole your story.
That's all right. I was seeing if I could jump in, but you know what? You take ownership of that story, man.
I just added them together because they're the same update. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that we all know that Windows 10 was a bit rushed and that it wasn't completely ready when it came out. And so I know there were businesses that adopted it. Kudos to them for being early adopters in Microsoft's eyes. Kudos from Microsoft, I'm sure. But a lot of these controls are really important. For me, I can handle stuff on my computer. If something goes wrong, I can change it. If you're in a company with 1,000 computers, you need to have these kind of macro controls work seamlessly, perfect. You want complete control over your system for the business PCs and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really important that they made this jump because apparently, I mean, this is a pretty good list of things that they can do now that they must have not been able to do before, right? Because they wouldn't list that as a new feature unless it's actually different. Yeah, so right, yeah. That tells me that it really wasn't business ready, and now it's closer, at least based on just this evidence. So, yeah, I mean, enterprise is pretty different than personal use, and I think we all can see that.
Yeah, but with this update, that was all a thing, and that's kind of it. As we were saying a minute ago, that's kind of it for the rest of the year. There's no more major updates planned for Windows 10 until Redstone, which
year. I mean, it's not even a year. When is Redstone?
I mean, it will be generally available in mid 2016, summer 2016, or spring. No, June, July 2016. So. It's not forever away, and insiders will get insider preview builds way before that. I mean, I've said it before. Microsoft were trying to, I don't know if they still are, but Microsoft were trying to get an RS1 build out before the end of the year. But it kind of makes more sense for them to have a break now and then release one in the new year. Just kind of like a new year, new start, whatever. But yeah, so Redstone is next. Redstone will be very awesome, and we'll be talking more about Redstone as more details leak. We've already spoken a little bit about it. We know it'll feature improvements to Continuum, the ability to roam app settings, app stances, I guess, so you can have Mail app open here, writing an email, then you open it on your desktop. Same mail, same email being written is there as well, etc., etc. or good stuff is still being drawn up. Whatever else, we'll be talking more about Redstone when information comes through.
I would say no. We know, but obviously we used to know that the full messaging app was coming, right?
Full messaging app did come in. Oh yes, the full messaging app did arrive in Threshold.
Kinda. I mean, it came.
It's not an SMS client. It's just Skype right now, which is just annoying to say the least.
Here. You guys want to? This is a special treat just for you guys. So I do these weekly Windows 10 in-depth. Zach does builds and cool stuff. I'm starting this Windows 10 in-depth series. I'm going to do right now during the podcast Windows 10 in-depth, messaging, Skype, and phone. They do what the title says. That's it. Have fun. See ya.
They do. They message, they Skype, and they phone.
Yeah, they're really basic, but in a good way. Like the messaging app shouldn't have a ton of fluff. I wish there were a few more settings for like Skype, the video one, but that's it. Like you cut that, post that on there, see if anyone actually watched the thing. 5 second video.
I'll tell you what, the way the Skype, phone, and messaging apps are built in Threshold 2 is very peculiar. Because it's like it's a separate phone app, it's a separate Skype video app, and it's a separate messaging app. But they're all the same service right now. I believe this is laying the groundwork for Redstone with the whole continuum idea, where you can SMS from here and your desktop using the messaging app. You can pick up phone calls from your desktop or make phone calls using the phone app, etc., etc. That's kind of all planned for Redstone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see these apps evolve with the new insider builds coming with Redstone. But yeah, it's very interesting to see where they go with this.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, technically speaking, you can make calls from Skype that's like audio only. Obviously, that's easy to do. But when I first saw phone, I was like, did they accidentally drop the phone app just inside Windows 10?
Yeah, to be fair, I think it was in a leaked build first, but the phone app was just there. Like, why is the phone app here?
But obviously, it's a Skype phone. But it's like FaceTime, but, FaceTime audio because, like you said, you're comparing the Mac features to what's coming up with the PC. Obviously, those are going to line up some. So it's interesting. It's there. They're pretty obviously they're basic, and that's great. We couldn't do the podcast from it though because you got.
Oh, I got a headset. They are terrible apps to do anything with other than just talk with your friend.
What do you think? I got a mic here, I got a webcam there, and I got a headset here. They're 3 completely different devices. I don't think you can do that on the video app.
They're very basic, and so pretty much watch this space regarding those apps. I imagine they will be updated dramatically as time moves on. So I'm Sean. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you know what this update's called?
Well, actually I do, but to play along and actually also be honest, I didn't understand why until someone explained the naming convention.
You know what? You have to explain it to... Other than my girlfriend who managed to guess it first time, I've had to explain it to everybody what version 15.11 means. Now, version 15.11 isn't the only name for this update. It's also known as the November update for Windows 10, or the Windows 10 November update, or the first major update for Windows 10, which is when Microsoft briefed us on the update earlier in the week, they referred to it as the first major update to Windows 10, which is why in our article, our title is Microsoft releases first major update to Windows 10, as that's what they were calling it. We thought that's what they would be calling it as well. Then they sent us the blog post which referenced November update, and then we looked at Windows Update and it said version 15.11. What's it called? Just an update for Windows 10. But the version 15.11 thing, which is what consumers are seeing when they update, or when they check Windows updates, so not all of them will check Windows Update. Most of the people it will install automatically. But version 15.11 is what's showing up in WinVer and all that other stuff. I think there are better versionings, ways than 15.11. Like you said, you usually have to explain it to most people. I asked my girlfriend, I said, yeah, so the new Windows 10 update is called Windows 10 version 15.11. Do you know why? She wouldn't know why. I said, take a guess. First guess, she got it right. But purely guessing.
Well, I'm from the States, and as you know, our date conventions are kind of weird. We go a month, which is this long, and then day, and then year. So it's a bit weird. And then in the UK, and I'm presuming many other parts in the world, you get a different order, and it goes day, and then month, and then year, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. But this convention is year and then month, right?
Yeah, I believe Linux or Ubuntu follows the same naming, which I say, so your average consumer is not using Ubuntu anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say, Zach, I agree with you on that. Microsoft's not very good at branding this. I'm sure some people won't know that there is an update, or they won't know. They'll get that because when you got Windows 10, first of all, there was a big hullabaloo. You were like, oh, and it's like, do you want to reserve Windows 10? And then you get it, and it's like, look what you have. And then Cortana's like, hey, look, listen, like from Zelda with Little Fairy, and these features are like, oh, have you tried this? You want that? With this one, I did it, knowing what the update was. But if I didn't know to look for the messaging app or the phone app, I wouldn't know they were there. There wasn't like a, hey, here's what's new. There wasn't a, check this out. Oh, you can now message from your computer. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's not advertised as like, this is a significantly better version of Windows 10. So, but I don't know if people know that.
Microsoft actually announced the messaging app and all that in a separate post. They didn't talk about it in the main post, but they called it Skype Preview app. So these are apps that are in preview and they shipped in the RTM build.
Hey,
Rolling
they can say
updates,
that.
everyone.
It doesn't call it that on my computer.
No,
it doesn't say messaging preview.
No, it just says.
It just says messaging.
You know what? I feel like they just slipped them in there so they can just leave them there for now. Like, right, they're in there, so they have to come next. So whatever.
Yeah. Let me flip to the other side here for a second, though, Zach, because in one of the commenters said this as well, and I agree with you. Marketing, okay. I mean, people should know it's better, but as others have said, maybe Microsoft's goal is just to have people know that they're running Windows 10.
Right, I mean, doesn't
matter what version.
But then why brand it in the first place? Just say this is an update for Windows 10.
Well, they have to call it something.
Why?
Well, because in their system they have to call it at least something.
Yeah, but that's where the build number comes in.
I guess. I mean, for me...
But, I mean, I understand the argument. What happens when you're on the phone to support and they go, what version of Windows are you running? And you're running this update, and it's just an update for Windows 10. The support person goes, okay, can you press start, type WinVer, press enter. Can you tell me what build you're running? And then they know. You know what I mean? And they don't need to brand these updates if that's the case.
I think that should be the goal. The goal should be 5 years from now, 2 years from now, you say, I'm running Windows 10. And then people just, basically all the tech guy could say, are you up to date? Do what you just said. And then it's like, now that we're running it. Because I don't think people, maybe they do, I don't think people run around saying, I'm running OS X 10 dot this, that here, or Mountain Lion this, or what, how many decimal points do you go? I think most people just go, yeah, I'm running OS X 10. I'm running Windows 10.
Also, with OS X, they usually have one major update a year, and that's it. They don't have a smaller major update. Like, this is a smaller major update, which is kind of in the middle ground of does it need a name or not. To be fair, I don't think this did. This could have just rolled out as an update with a new build number, and support could ask for the build number if anybody needed it. Redstone, however, is a different story in which I think does need a brand name, but like a good version, not version, 05, 06, 2016 or whatever it is they're naming it. I feel like it should be Redstone Windows 10.1 or Windows 10 Redstone. Just like we need
Couldn't
something.
They just advertise it though? Couldn't they just have my ads where people are moving from one device to another with continue and just advertise the features? Because people are going to go Windows 10 Redstone. What is that? Windows 10.1. Oh, is that different than Windows 10? Because Windows 8.1 was kind of different than Windows 8.
But
blah
exactly.
blah blah. Just advertise the feature. Call it Windows 10. Just say Windows 10.
iOS and macOS do this with their point updates. They have I don't know what they want. OS X 11.0.1 or whatever, and iOS 9.0.1. They do it. Apple does it, and it works fine for them. And they're like they're iSheep. They have the mushiest brains around.
But that's the point, though, right? Is that I think if you have a Mac, you care about it. You don't just like a lot of people just buy a PC because it's a computer and they need a computer. But if you choose to be on the Apple platform with a MacBook or a MacBook Pro, you're really choosing to be a Mac user, right?
Yeah,
So you're gonna have somewhat of an understanding of what you're getting and why you're doing it. I think more so than just Joe Schmo down the street needed a $200 computer, so he got a PC. You can't get a $200 MacBook, so you don't have those ridiculously average users in as many numbers. I'm sure there are some, but there aren't as many.
Right, yeah. Tino says OS X. Yeah, all right, okay, I get it. It's OS X standing for 10.11. I get that, okay. I don't use Mac, guys. I own a Mac, but it's here and it's not plugged in and there's something else on top of it. Look, it's not even plugged in. I haven't turned it on in God knows how long.
Didn't
Bloody Mac.
Wasn't the Halo 5 live stream powered through a Mac?
Probably. Apple loved.
And then they like broke like a world record.
Yeah. Thanks, Apple.
There you go.
But yeah,
Anyway.
and someone just said consumers don't care. They do care when they need support. And their support person says, what version are you running? And they go, version 15.11. Why is it called version 15.11? Doesn't matter. Just because November.
I saw someone on Twitter was like, number one response you get when they say, what operating system are you running? They go, Google Chrome.
Yeah.
That's not what. No, that's not.
But I mean, do people? If we went into the street and walked up to people and said, "Do you know what operating system means?" How many people would say yes?
I think it might depend on age.
I don't think many people would. I think people just look at a computer and go, "This is a computer."
Well, but that's what I'm saying is you're advocating their branding is dumb, and you're arguing that I'm arguing they should just completely remove branding and just keep it as the build number.
Right.
And just say you're running Windows 10. Then they say what? They do the steps you already outlined. Perfect. Because then they can update it. It's not a lot of hullabaloo. It's just better. I've used that word twice now.
Keep using it, Sean.
There you go.
You know, we should probably stop complaining because we've got a lot more complaining to do later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my story again. I've stolen all the stories this week.
That's all right. I'll just sit here.
Let's complain more about the lack of mobile builds. Because there wasn't one this week.
I'm not even that mad. Do I have to complain? Is that a rule?
No, you don't have to complain. I'm not going to complain either. I'm just going to put it straight. This is what Microsoft said. I believe Gabe said they're trying to get build out this week, like last week. They said that last week. They're trying to get build out this week. Build 10.586, which is the RTM for Windows 10 Mobile, just as it is for desktop and Xbox. But they didn't get out this week. And the reason is they were focusing on the rollout of desktop. And they wanted to make that as smooth as possible, so they had the team focused on getting that out on time and all that other good stuff. So mobile was kind of put to one side for a minute as they were focusing on this. And Gabe says they're going to focus on getting it out next week. It hasn't been delayed. I saw people saying, it's been delayed or it's broken, whatever else. It hasn't been delayed. It's coming still. Okay?
Well, how can it be delayed if there wasn't an official release date?
Well, I mean, Gabe was like, this week, and it didn't come this week. So, delayed.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
I wish it was here. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this to lots of people on Twitter. You're not going to notice a difference between 581 and 586. They're practically the same.
I think 581's pretty stable.
And it would be interesting to see what build they roll out, because it could be 10.586.0, or it could be like a 10.586 dot something, because they are, right. with these day patches, they are compiling newer 10.586 builds as they do to fix bugs and whatever else. So it would be interesting to see what they roll out. Right now it looks like 10.586.0 because that's what's in the Microsoft wiring and whatever else. But that can change before now and whenever. Either way, it will be 10.586 dot something. That will be the build. There will be no differences between the dots, whatever. It will be 10.586.
Yeah.
And because that's the build that was sent to carriers, and that's being tested with AT&T and whoever else. That's the build that's on Lumia 950 and 950 XL. That's the build public are gonna get.
Yes, well, 158.6 point something, because then we can hold true that it was still the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might have to go 0.99999, but it's still 10.586 something.
Yes,
right?
it's 10.586. The experience will not really change. It will nothing. You're gonna. It's 586, guys. 586 is coming, and no need to worry. No need to worry.
Soon.
Soon, yes, soon. Soon.
Yeah, I have it. It's right there. I really should just have this ready for the.
Just stick it behind you and just move your head.
I might just get like a background and just start like posting things, but I have to frame it because if I just put it up there with like, what do you guys call it, sellotape? That would just kind of look.
I'm gonna try.
Like, hey, I'd call up Ron. And be like, hey Ron, yeah, I took the microwave out of the background, but then I put up photos using Scotch tape. Is that okay? Like that's fine, right?
Yeah, I just did. I keyframed out your white wall, and you look really kind of scary right now.
Do I?
You do. Well, it comes up in the chat.
It's just me.
It's just you, but it's kind of not working properly, so I might turn that off.
Can you put me back?
Yeah, I'll put you back. There you go. You're back to normal. Okay. Just try and see if it works. It kind of works. Kind of doesn't. Right.
Oh, were you trying to green screen with the white screen?
Yeah, I was trying to white screen.
Oh, wow. I'm like possessed.
I know.
Friday the 13th for you.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on. Another one of my stories.
God damn. All black.
Right, it's one of my stories. Sean does have a story this week, I promise.
No.
Right, so let's talk about the Threshold 2 or the November update for Xbox One, because this is the first edition of Windows 10, I guess, to release for Xbox One, releasing to all, however many million Xbox users there are. Windows 10, a new dashboard UI, comes packed with Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, which Sean's story, which I'm not going to talk about. Perhaps and most importantly, the new Xbox experience brings Windows 10 to Xbox One. For the first time ever, Microsoft has made it possible to upgrade the underlying operating system, switching out from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10. This architectural work first took shape in the early stages of Xbox One, with the newest generation consoles basically running 3 operating systems, a gaming OS, an OS for all the Windows types and features like browsing, etc., and a third OS to switch between the other two. Yes, a nice new user interface, new hub.
Do you like it?
I do like it very much so.
Can I ask, because before we list all the features and that sort of thing, I've had some people who say they don't like it as much, and other people seem to be leaning. Where do you stand? Why do you like it more?
I like it because it's consistent, for one. The build number's the same, which makes me happy on the insides. Also, that happened with every Xbox 360 dashboard update as well. So, like, back with the old Xbox 360 next update preview, whatever it was, next thingy, people weren't happy with that either. Then the next update after that, people weren't happy. And it's always the case of nobody's happy. But people get used to it, people learn to live with it. And that's what's going to happen here with Xbox One. Tell you what, one of the best new changes with the dashboard update is the One Guide. The One Guide on the new dashboard update is, it's the best. It's just so great. You should try it out. It's really good.
Tell me about it, because I don't have one. So why do you like it?
Because the UI is so much better now. It's faster. You press X, it's there straight away. It's just a lot easier to use, press A, whatever else. Also, you've got the dashboard, the little tabs at the top, which you can switch between. The store is now kind of not an app, but it is an app, so you can hit the store immediately. Then once you select a game, it launches an app for you to buy it and whatever else. Pins are down now. They're kind of not on the left, which I found them quite annoying there. And the guide, so when you double tap the Xbox button, you now get like a guide like the old original Xbox 360 dashboard. It comes up from the left here. You get your friends, party, messages, achievements, and quick access to settings. Unfortunately, Cortana's not in this update. Cortana for Xbox is coming in the new year, I believe. Yes, the new year.
That's too bad, because they had her, but I guess she's not ready.
2016, I imagine with Redstone, I don't know, sometime soon. Again, soon, as per usual. But yes, it's great updates, and one of the biggest things... one of the things it lost was gestures, which I don't care about, because I never use gestures anyway. Voice commands are great, they're still there. Gestures, when you had to wave your hand about to like navigate the dashboard, that's gone, which is fine for me. I mean, I'm not sure everybody's going to use that, really.
I don't think that many people would be that upset by it. I mean, the Kinect, it has a place. I think it has more of a place outside of gaming than inside of gaming, to be honest. Medical stuff and that sort of thing. But in any event, I don't think that'll be missed. And it seems like you're getting a lot more from it. And I've seen, obviously what's coming, but it's really how it feels. It doesn't matter. That's a point. It doesn't matter what people say. It matters how you feel. How it feels in your own hands. Do you like it more when you look at it? And I think it looks faster. It looks more native.
Right.
And it sounds to me like you feel the same way. Some people are a little unhappy about the way that parties changed. Because I guess if you open up the party chat now, it pauses the game and you can't have it side by side, right?
I believe so, yes.
But I've heard that might be coming back. So hopefully that's not a permanent change.
Well, on the Xbox 360, it was just an overlay, which was better, I think. So
yeah, well, and the whole purpose of this update was to make it, multitasking was supposed to be better. Well, that's like a very functional multitask. It's not, hey, look, I can watch my cable television in the upper right-hand corner while playing Call of Duty. It's my party who's playing right now in my party. So I think they should change it, but that might be coming. So a little patience, that might be on the way.
Yeah.
In addition, unless you have any other features.
No. I was going to say probably the biggest feature releasing with this update is backwards compatibility, which is...
Hey, there you go.
Which is your story.
Yeah. So there you go. Finally, I get one. No. Yeah, so backwards compatibility came out this week. I think most people already know about this. It's pretty cool because they basically, hey dog, I heard you like Xbox, so we put an Xbox inside your Xbox, which is really what it is.
Yeah.
Someone put that meme somewhere, whatever. So yeah, that's great. The big thing is that they've released the list of the first 104 games that will be supported, and then there's also support for other games on the way. So I guess I don't want to go. Obviously, it's 104, so I'm not going to go through everything, but there's some relatively big names. I wouldn't say either. There's an Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed 2. There's two Banjo-Kazooies. No, three. There's Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. So you get tons of Banjo-Kazooie, which you're not a big fan of, Zach.
I was never into it. I am excited.
But you get games.
I'm excited for Halo Reach, which isn't on the list initially, but it is coming apparently. So
yeah. And there's more on the way. So I mean, you get some here. You get Borderlands. You get other ones. Fallout. There's a Fallout and a Fable on there. So there are some relatively big names that I'm glad are here, and there are more big games on the way. You mentioned Halo. Are all the Halos? It's a bunch of Halos, yeah. Eventually.
Well, no, that list was leaked and it was wrong. So,
was it? Okay.
Halo Reach, and I think that's the only Halo Reach. The only Halo other than Spartan Assault that's coming with backwards compatibility. All the others are available via the Master Chief Collection. So,
okay, because Spartan Assault's already here, right?
Spartan Assault's already on Xbox One anyway. So,
I would point out that I'm a little surprised by some of these games on this list. I could understand if you spent all this time on a really good game, Gears of War, Assassin. It takes a lot of time to make a whole Fable game, and it's like we really need to port this because people still love it. They play it today, even though it came out years ago, and you're like, yeah, let's use this new feature. But there's some on here, and it's like there's one. It's literally backgammon. Like there's backgammon, hearts, spades, and then there's like some really, and it's like. Really? Like you needed the port back? You couldn't have backgammon. First of all, who's playing backgammon on the X? I love backgammon. I played it with my dad like every day this summer for a while. I love backgammon, but on an Xbox One seems a bit odd in the first place. But they have to port a game. But I guess it gets to add to the total, so I'm all for it.
See, I'm excited to see Fable. Oh no, it's Fable 2, not 3. Why isn't Fable 3 there?
I don't know. The picture is Fable 3.
Yeah, it's like...
What's this Fable? Huh. Do you think that's a typo?
Fable 2. No, it's linking to Fable 2. Why not Fable 3?
The picture in the background is Fable 3.
Well, Fallout 3's there as well, which is very exciting. All the Gears of Wars, Halo Spartan Assault, Lego Star... Some of the Lego Star Wars games on there. Oh, that's cool. Mirror's Edge, which was a good game. N+, very addictive. There's just a number of... a number of Sonic games, which I've never been into Sonic, so... That's not for me, really. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six and Six Vegas 2. So, if you're into Rainbow Six, they are there. And yeah, so I mean, it's a mix of AAA titles and non-AAA titles, really. Microsoft does.
Well, that's what we want.
Microsoft does say fan favorites like Halo Reach, Halo Wars, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite, and Skate 3 are on the radar of being announced soon. So. Yeah, but he says they're on the way, so they're coming whenever, which is very exciting. I'm excited for Halo Reach.
Yeah, with the way that this process works, when just the approval and that sort of thing, I'd hope that this ramps up. You get everything that Microsoft really can get their mitts on early, and then other people will jump on, and hopefully developers like Activision and some of the other big ones are going to go all in on this because obviously there's been some pushback, but yeah, hopefully 104, good number to start with. It's got some big titles to prove. Like the concept. Right. Somebody pointed out that those smaller ones might have just been literally to test the concept. And then we got a lot more on the way. So that's exciting for that. And I think it'll help the Xbox One. I was talking with my teammates from my football team about this, and they're saying, oh, that's really good. You can bring this back, and it's cool, and it's all in one console. So just for the average everyday user, this I think affects you a lot more than some of the other changes that we talk about. So that's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, and the best bit about it is if you own your games digitally, they just show up one day. They're like, oh, there's a new game available for me to play. How nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We should probably explain how it works for if you don't own them digitally. You just take the disc, you put it in, it installs, and you play. Just like how you would anyway. So very exciting.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
Go on.
This Microsoft, their hardware can do amazing things that you didn't know about until they're out for 3 years.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Exactly. You know what, Sean? I'm going to let you take the next story because I feel bad for
all
stealing all
right,
your
sounds
stories.
good. So you know how we talked about last week how Halo 5 made $400 million in its opening week?
Yes.
So that was short-lived on being big news because Fallout came out this week, right? So Fallout 4 came out this week and made $750 million. It is important to clarify that Fallout is on 3 major platforms. Yeah? I'm trying to make sure that number, I think that's just total, right?
Yes.
As far as I know. Yeah, so it's a bit of an unfair comparison. But if you're a Fallout fan, it's out. You're probably not watching the podcast right now because you're playing Fallout. So there's that. But that being said, that's a huge opening week. $750 million in opening. That's really impressive. And it shows the power of some of these franchises that they have. Obviously been a really long wait for a lot of these people. We could have had an actual nuclear war in the time, or nuclear fallout in the time that this one took to come out. So it's a really big weekend, but it makes you wonder. Even a good week on a platform exclusive is a bad week compared to some of these that are on multi-platforms, which it really gives you a scope of some of these. I mean, it's almost double in 1 week of what Halo made, and it's because it's on more than double the platforms.
Yes.
But are you a Fallout guy, Zach? I don't know if you play Fallout.
I played a bit of Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I have Fallout 4 and I'm kind of getting into it. I can never get into these kind of games, but I'm trying to get into Fallout 4. So yes, I am trying. I mean, I've got Tomb Raider to play as well. I've got so many games to play.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty impressive though. Unbelievable though when you think about. I walked by a store. I don't know if I should name it. Yeah, whatever. It's a compliment. I walked by a game this week in town.
Yeah.
So it's right in Nottingham. It's the main game. It's just outside the Market Square. I was there at 10:30 or 10:30 for our American listeners, and that really confused me when I moved over here. Anyway, so 10:30, and there was already a pretty big line. And I talked to them the next day, and they said, yeah, by the time it was midnight, it was down the street, just people lining up. And I was a bit surprised by that. I assume most people like digital, but there were a ton of people there to get a physical copy.
People who still get physical copies, I don't understand them. Like,
I'm sure
seriously.
There's a reason. Some people like it.
I mean,
more.
If you have like slow internet, sure, but seriously, it's the 21st century. Digitally buy all your games.
Well, don't you really like having a product license for Windows 10, like a product key?
That's, I guess, but that's not like a disc.
That's probably a similar argument, though, right?
I guess you could say that, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't like the digital entitlement thing Microsoft was giving out for the upgraders, so I went out and got my own key. Then they turned around and said, "Oh, you can use your own key from 7 and 8 anyway in the new update." So, whatever. Anyway, I've still got my own dedicated Windows 10 key. So, for me.
Yeah, see, lots of I guess someone pointed out, cheaper. I heard that they are cheaper because retailers will put them on sale, but they won't go on sale on the Microsoft Store.
Right.
And so that's another benefit as well. So if you're a big gamer, if every game you buy is cheaper because it's physical, then whatever. So there you go. Yeah, it's pretty sweet though. Big gaming weekend. Join us. Hopefully you came out and you watched us for a bit. You take a break from Fallout 4. So there's that. I don't think there's any other gaming news this week.
No.
But yeah, there is there's news related to Facebook, which we got an interesting clarification on because people really analyze these sorts of things. So the Facebook beta app was out for Windows 10 mobile, and I actually really like it. Do you use the new app, the beta app? Oh, you signed off Facebook this week. Weird week to do that. You should have known about this news, Zach, and you could have stayed on.
I should have used my time machine to find out.
Exactly. Oh, we really need that. Get that TARDIS background going. Anyway, so Windows 10 Mobile has a Facebook beta app that started out kind of poor. Obviously, it's a beta, so that's fine. And it's gotten pretty solid. Inline videos with the native Microsoft controls. They work. I think the mobile one is actually under Microsoft's name because they're working with that. And so that one's great, and I really like it. And people were pretty excited this morning because there was these links going around, and then you see it. Facebook beta for Windows 10, like PCs and tablets, came out. Except there were two things that kind of stuck up. One, it didn't work. Well, there's three. One, it didn't work. Two, it was published under Facebook Inc. without a period at the end of it, so people were wondering if it was genuine or not. And 3, it looks an awful lot like an iPhone app or an iOS app. So people are wondering if it's related to Islandwood, Project Islandwood. I guess to go through, 1, doesn't work as far as I know, still sucks. 2, you got a clarification on this, Zach, right?
Yes, Facebook contacted me. I was like, "Hey, Zach, you wrote this story. It's wrong." And they said, they issued us an official comment. They said, "We're testing Facebook for Windows Desktop, a new app for Windows 10 computers. We look forward to rolling this out more broadly next year." Facebook spokesperson. Then they wanted to call me to clarify some things. And what they pretty much said was, in the story I wrote, I said it's probably on the store by accident. They said it's not an accident; it's there on purpose. This is a beta test. The link you provided to the story will only work for a small amount of people in the tests. As with most of our products, we are testing before rolling it out broadly to make sure everything is working well. We're excited to roll this out more broadly soon. And I was like, okay, that's great, and that's that. So yeah, apparently the app does work for those who are in some kind of beta program, but for everybody
else,
if
it's a closed beta, why would you send out a link?
Well, they didn't send out a link.
Oh, it just got out.
It was found, okay. Yes, and it's kind of just sitting there on the store. So.
I will say there you go.
There you go.
I really like the phone one. It really makes Facebook much. I mean, I use the browser in Edge. It's fine on mobile, but it's really nice. It looks very Windowsy on mobile, so I'm a little disappointed that it looks so iOS-y on the tablet one. I hope that's not the long-term plan.
Because it's an iOS port.
Is it confirmed that it is an Islandwood port?
Facebook says it isn't, but it is. I mean, it is a Facebook port.
Didn't somebody break down the code of the actual app?
Yeah, they took a look at it. It's all iOS stuff.
Yeah. Why send a clarifying email if it doesn't clarify?
Because people are, I don't know. They're trying to protect. I don't know. Just whatever. It's thingy-mabob. Can we complain about stuff now? More stuff?
We're so grumpy on these podcasts. You know, people, honestly, I really like Microsoft, and I'm a pretty happy guy.
This isn't Microsoft we're complaining about next.
Yeah, that's true, but I just feel like we've been pretty grumpy these honestly, I'm a really jovial guy in my everyday life. Like, I sing at practice, and I'm an upbeat kind of guy, but some issues, that kind of goes away.
You know what? I love Microsoft, which is why I'm about to bash Apple to hell. Tim Cook is a tool, everyone.
You go for it, Zach.
Tim Cook is dumb. Tim Cook has
is he diluted or is he diluted?
Tim Cook's said a number of things over the years about Microsoft. For example, he said about the Surface in 2012, you can converge a toaster and a refrigerator, but those things are probably not going to be pleasing to the users. Pretty much what he's saying, there's no point combining a tablet and a laptop. It's just the user doesn't want it. Which is funny because the iPad Pro, which released this week, is exactly that. Just terribly executed. The iPad Pro is simply a bigger iPad with an atrocious keyboard accessory or keyboard case that's more expensive than the type cover, which is funny because all the Apple reviewers who reviewed all the Apple fans, I guess, or Apple followers, whoever, who commented on the Surface when it originally came out, they were like, well, for one, the type cover's too expensive, and for two, it should ship with the product. I'm pretty sure the iPad Pro, the cover is more expensive and doesn't ship for the product and is less good. It doesn't even have a trackpad on it. It's just a keyboard, and there is no adjustability for the kick. There isn't even a kickstand on it. It's all built into the case, which is just a terrible experience. And there's no way to adjust that, lean back of the iPad Pro.
There's only one viewing angle.
One viewing angle, which is the kind of the mistake the first Surface made. Apple is dumb. Tim Cook, what did he say this week? He said something about what did he say? Do you remember?
Let me get the exact quote if I can. It's actually worth
not the diluted one. The other quote he made about
why would you buy a PC?
Yes, he also said this week, why would you buy a PC when the iPad Pro, in terms of the iPad Pro, why these days why would you buy a PC? It's pretty much what he said, which is again a stupid comment because the iPad Pro is not a PC replacement in any way, shape or form. It's not even a Surface replacement. It's just a bigger iPad. For everything you've ever done your iPad for, used your iPad for, this is that just bigger. You can't take the iPad Pro and use it as a full. I can't stream this from the iPad Pro. I can stream this from a Surface Pro 4. I can stream
I'm
this,
on the Surface Pro too.
and on a Surface Pro 2 most likely as well. I can stream this.
But I don't know if I could do everything. I'm just saying, like, even on older stuff, the physical shape of the device and all the ports and things is already a major difference, let alone the operating system that it's running.
With the iPad Pro, I can't extend to multiple monitors. With the Surface Pro, I can. I could do a lot more with a Surface device. And Tim Cook's sitting there going, well, I wouldn't even buy a PC these days. I'd buy an iPad Pro because an iPad Pro is better than that. So, no, it's not. It's just not. It's just not. Not only that, it's just like, what are you talking about? He also called the Surface Book deluded, to which he then clarified. What did he clarify? Is it diluted or diluted?
He meant to say diluted, not diluted, because diluted is, I guess, like delusional. It's
yes,
that's a
pretty
sense. Big insult.
Him in saying that makes sense considering he's
right. But diluted is like it's mixed. It's not, it's mixing two things, and it's not strongly one thing.
Either way, he was complaining about the Surface Book, and I can guarantee you, in 4 or 5 years, there will be an Apple Surface Book, in which it's an iPad that detaches and turns into whatever. I can just guarantee that happens, and then here will be. You know what? I think the new iPad book is it's a bit diluted. Oh, excuse me, I meant diluted. Diluted. It's a little bit diluted.
That could be our headline when they do that. I would say that, look, we've talked about this before. I'm a different type of user than some, but we on our listener base especially, we have some of the most complicated users around, and we have some of the more consumer-based users around. And the PC platform provides something that you don't get on just a tablet. Right now, I have a microphone, a webcam, I have 2 different screens that I'm going through, a Bluetooth keyboard, a Bluetooth mouse, and a Bluetooth headset right now, all running through one device that, mind you, is a couple years old now. But just the form factor and how it's set up works that way. If this was an iPad Pro, it doesn't have the ports that this does. I couldn't connect it to another screen. I definitely couldn't use all these peripherals. iOS doesn't have mouse support because it's not a full operating system. Now this keyboard does work with iOS, and it is pretty cool. But but that's But all these things you can't do with an iPad. I'm not saying the iPad's not useful. My mom could use a tablet for almost everything she uses the internet for. And I know there are users that applies to. I'm not trying to say like everyone on earth always needs a PC. But because the iPad Pro and iPads cost more or as much or close to Surfaces, they should offer the same thing. So the Surface Pro 4 and we have an article, look it up. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. It's amazing. Go read the Surface Pro 4 versus iPad Pro article that we have this week. It's really good, and it's going to say all this. And you're going to sit there and say, why? And I would ask Tim Cook, why would you buy an iPad Pro? Why would anyone today buy an iPad Pro? Especially, well, I'll say one. The pencil's pretty cool. I will admit that. The pencil's pretty sweet.
Minus drawing. Why would you buy an iPad Pro over a Surface Pro 4?
And I guess if you're on their ecosystem too, but just device for I don't want to say it's because there are people who are going to get it and they're going to like it, but it doesn't replace a laptop, and that was what he was kind of saying. So I don't know. He's out there he's like advertising the iPad Pro, but he's come off like really terribly in my opinion. He said, "Why would you buy a PC?" Which, by the way, we haven't even talked about this, Zach. Apple makes computers.
Yes, he essentially He essentially said, "Don't buy our computers, don't buy our Macs, buy the iPad Pro." That's what he's pretty much saying.
And he's saying why? Because I know that we use PC to refer to Microsoft sometimes, but it's personal computer, which MacBooks are. So he's basically saying, why would anyone buy a MacBook? What? They make money off MacBooks. There are people that use MacBooks. I don't know. I think it's a big snafu. So I don't know.
Now Apple know never to send Tim Cook out into the wild again. Just keep him in his office. Let him say yes to products that can go into production, and that's it. He doesn't need to come out of his office. You can bring him out on stage every now and then, but that's it.
In any event, let's close with these two, and then we can chit chat with these people in the after party. And if you are watching this later, sorry for not being able to join, But we do broadcast live, and you can join us for question and answer. It's a lot less formal. Obviously, this podcast isn't super formal anyway, but it's a lot less formal because we can just kind of openly chit-chat about whatever. But first international store in Sydney, and good news for Zach and I, Microsoft might be implementing the store within a store structure that they've done in like Best Buy in America. When you go to a Best Buy in America, you have a giant Microsoft section with all the best and latest Microsoft hardware and people who actually know what they're talking about, more so than maybe some other retailers. And Zach and I have expressed in the past, there's some stores in England that just the display from Microsoft goods is just not that good. That people don't keep it clean. The Surface wasn't even working at one of the ones Zach went to.
Yeah.
But then the Mac one is like pristine and kept really nice.
There's a guy hiding there just to clean the screen.
Yeah, exactly. There's a guy whose job it is just to clean the screen of those apparently. But if they implemented the store within a store, which they're shooting about, is this going to work? Are the retailers interested? Can we make this work? Right now, it's still development phases. But I think that would help quite a bit because then you can go and talk to someone who isn't going to try to sell you something else. They're going to know what they're doing, and they're kind of dedicated in that section. So do you think that will be good enough, or do you think that until we get a flagship in London, it's not good enough?
It's better than nothing, to say the least, but I'd much rather a flagship store here in the UK.
Hopefully. I'd go to the opening.
Was that the answer you was looking for? Did I hear the question?
No, you're fine. Honest question, you get an honest answer. That's what you do. So there you go. Oh, comments. I didn't forget the poll. I didn't do the poll this week. That was separate. So next week we'll have a poll.
Oh, see, look, they want the poll, and now we don't have one. Let's do a quick poll and just see what they say, yes or no. Do you like Windows 10? Yes or no? Go.
Oh man. What? There you go. Sweet.
So we should sign off. So yes, that was the WinBeta podcast for the week of November 13th, 2015. With me, it was co-host Sean Michael. You can find Sean on Twitter at
Sean_Michael_UK, which is down here somewhere.
Yes, on the screen. And you can find me on Twitter at ZachB_. You can follow WinBeta on Twitter at WinBetaDOT.org. On Facebook, facebook.com/WinBeta.org. YouTube, just search for us. Google Plus, just search for us. Contact us. Say hi if you want. There's a contact button. You can send us emails and whatever else. And yeah, you can find us on YouTube. The WinBeta podcast is live every week at the same time, same place at winbeta.org/live. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.